A simple mask and a few embellishments create this quick hello which is really easy to make. Hi, my name is Michelle Jackson-Mogford from MGM Design Studios. I'm going to show you how easy it is to mix your pixels and paper. We're going to add a handmade mask and a bit of ink, and we're going to create a quick and easy hybrid card just to say hello. For this project, I've printed off some element sheets from some of my print and craft collections. I don't need any papers for this one, so it's just element sheets. So these two come from A Little Birdhouse in Your Soul Print and Craft collection, and these two sheets come from I Doodle Love You Print and Craft collection, and these two sheets come from Have a Word kit. All these collections are available as digital collections as well in my Etsy shop, so you can make up your own element sheets as you wish, and you can check out my Access All Images videos to see how to access the digital images, or you can use the print and craft versions, and all you need is a PDF reader and you simply print off what you want and then get crafty with it. So let's start. The first thing we're going to do, because we're not using papers, is we're going to make our own background for our card. So you'll see here, let me just put these over there. So you'll see here that we've got this strip along here, and this is done with masking. And I've made my own mask by simply ripping up some paper. So you just literally tear down the paper, so you just tear a strip off the paper until it's a shape that you like, and then you just position it onto your card. Now you can use a repositionable adhesive. I'm just going to check that I've got that far enough off my card. I think that could be all right. Let's just bring it down there a bit further. You can use a repositional adhesive, which is what I've done, which is a spray adhesive, or you can get repositionable. Now you see that's a little layover from my last project. There we go. And then we put the bottom on here. Yeah, so you can use glue dots or whatever, or you could just masking tape it down on either side onto your desk, or however you want to do it. So there we've got the mask across, and I'm going to use worn lipstick and mustard seed distress inks. I might use a bit of spice marmalade, not really sure, but it's there ready if I want it. And you literally take your piece of cut and dry foam and just smush your ink onto your project in different places, and you just keep working it, and then you add your different colours, and then your colours will start to mix, and the ink will get wetter as well on your card. So then as you build up, you'll actually blend, everything will start to blend together better. I think I definitely want some more yellow in there. And you just keep working until you're happy with the result. So I definitely have some more yellow. I think I'm going a bit pink heavy on this one, but that's fine. And you see where this is why I wasn't sure if I wanted the spice marmalade or not, because where the pink and the yellow mix, you're getting that orangey colour. Although I might just bring it, I don't know, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Can't quite decide at the moment. Just going to keep working with this yellow here. Do you know, I think I might just bring in a little bit of the orange here, just to take the heat out of that pink a little bit. There we go. And remember which ink pad you're putting your foam onto. Nearly went wrong then. And you just keep working and working until you're all blended and you've got the colours that you want. And this works really well with a good mix of colours. I like mixing it up with, I love orange and yellows and pinks together. Lime green's really good with yellow and pink as well, and orange. Really clashy colours, and you get this really lovely bright strip, which is completely unique because obviously every time you do it, it's never going to be the same again. It's going to work out different every time. So I have a little bit of orange on there, a little bit more pink around here, and I think we're just about done. So lids on your inks so they don't dry out. Push them to one side, and then we'll just peel off our masking. I really like this technique because it's a bit of a trick of the eye, because you're not really sure if you've got white paper stuck onto a pattern background or whatever, but it's completely flat and it's just ink. So that's a really simple way to use a masking technique there to create a nice background paper for your card. And also you keep that white so it keeps it nice and fresh as well. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of my very expensive mat here, which is baking paper. I don't use a glass mat because I don't like cutting on glass, and I had a fantastic proper craft mat, but it got damaged and I can't find one that I like. So baking paper it is, and it does the job. So I've cut out the hello from my Have a Word pages, and I'm just going to show you these. So in Have a Word, on the Print It and Craft, and in the digital as well. So if it's digital, all these will be separate elements that you can make the size that you want and put whatever you want around it. But in the Print and Craft, they're there in different sizes for you to cut out, and you can use your die cutting machines or free cut or whatever you want to do. And I also have a sheet which has frames on it, so if you don't want to go freestyle, it gives you an idea, it gives you a sort of a line to follow if you want to cut these out by hand. So I've cut out one of the small hellos here from the sheet, and I'm just going to quickly die cut it with this little buckle die here. I'm just using some well-used masking tape to hold that in place, and we'll put that down on base plate. I don't do a lot of die cutting, so I have to really think about what I'm doing when I do it. And because I don't do a lot of die cutting, I just have a little dinky machine, but it does the job, it does what I need it to do. So we'll just go through with that, like that, and then we've got our lovely little buckle die ready to go. Oh, look at me with me dirty fingers, dirty inky fingers. Hopefully it's not on my little shape here. Let me just wipe my fingers off. No, I didn't just wipe them on my trousers, honest. Just push this out of the die, because you've got these little extra cutty bits. It just takes a little while to get it out of the die. There we go. So there we've got that lovely, oh, do you know what I didn't do? I didn't emboss it. So let's just put that back in. You see, I told you I don't do a lot of this. Let's bring our embossing plate back. So we'll put that. Now you're all shouting at me, aren't you? Telling me which way around I'm supposed to do it. I can't remember. Let's see if this works. Otherwise it'll be an edit in the video. Oh dear. I'm much better with a pair of scissors, me. Right, let's have a look and see if I've managed to damage anything. By George, I think she's done it. Right, let's press this out again. There we go, with the little embossed bits round. And I wanted the embossed bits because I'm going to sparkle them up later. Otherwise I would have left it. Right, I do make myself laugh sometimes. And I make myself cry. Okay, so we've got our base card and we've got our little hello. Now this obviously is black and white at the moment. So a really quick colouring to match the background. So we've gone pink, orange, yellow in the background. I'm just using a fine liner pen. And I'm going to do a quick colouring job. So we'll go pink on the top. And then while that's still wet, let's bring in our orange, like that. And then we'll bring in our yellow. A and it's just a really quick and easy way and cheap way to colour in your letters. Now if you're using Digistamps, so while I'm just doing this, I'm going to whitter on about Digistamps now. So if you, a lot of my collections come with Digistamps, or you may have Digistamps from elsewhere. Top tips for viewing them. If you want to use things that are wet like this, the best thing to do is to print them off and leave them preferably overnight to let the black ink dry, so you don't drag the black ink into your work. And you can use a cheap hairspray is a good fixative as well. So if you print it off and then spray it with a cheap, and I say cheap because it's got the most, well, what used to be shellac, I don't know if it still is shellac, but it's got it. They work the best anyway. The cheaper hairsprays work the best as a fixative. It's also good for fixing chalks and pastels and things like that if you do any of that kind of work. So they're the tips. And the other tip with Digistamps is if you use a glue pen and trace around the black lines, then you can use a glue pen over the top and then emboss it. So emboss it with some clear embossing powder. That stops the black ink running as well. And obviously if you have the digital version, you change the colour of the line. So you change the colour of the line to match the project you're doing. So say you're colouring, I don't know, a red rose, then you would make the line a pale red. So if it does run, it's not going to be noticeable. So while I've been wittering, I have coloured in my hello, and now I'm going to put a ribbon through here. And the ribbon is just a piece of paper from, so I have used a piece of paper, haven't I? Yeah, from my Print It and Craft collection, but I probably got it from my scrapbooks. That's the other thing, is with the Print It and Craft collections, just use it like you would a craft kit. So you print them off and you use what you want, and then you keep a box of goodies, so that when you come to craft again, you probably find the bits that you want, or it might inspire you to make something if you don't know what to make. And you just keep them like you do a craft kit and use them as and when you want them. So we're going to position that, I think that buckle is about right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some foam pads on the back to fasten that, and also to lift the buckle off of the card. So let's put 3 of my very expensive foam pads on from Poundland. Oh, I've gone over the edge, but never mind, I don't think I have. Right, so let's just take them off there. Now, normally you will have heard me say I always use wet glue with my foam pads. I didn't then because it would get a bit messy with the buckle, but I will put a little blob of, I'll open my glue, put a little blob of wet glue on each one to give me some playtime and also sort of extra stickiness, if you like. So I think we'll have him going. I need to get over the top of this, so excuse me if you see my head. We'll put that there like that. That's about right to me. And then what I will do is just put a little bit of glue up to the end of that ribbon there. And let's glue along here. It's very windy today. The door keeps creaking. Don't know if you can hear it or not, but that's what it is. I haven't got a ghost, or have I? Right, so let's stick that down there. And then when that's stuck, we'll just trim off the edges. While the glue's drying, I'm not going to mess with it while it's drying. I'm going to look at the flowers that I've printed off. So these flowers are from Little Birdhouse in Your Soul, these 3 here. And they work really well with the daisies in I Doodle Love You, which are loads of doodles that I've made about love. So yeah, they work really well. So I've just picked the ones I want and cut them out. Now, just because they're paper and card doesn't mean they have to stay flat. You can shape them, you can do what you want with them. Again, you treat them like you would any other craft kit. So if you've got another craft kit with flowers in and you shape them, they just work the same way. It's just that you're printing them as and when you want them at home. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, can you see that? I don't know if it's on the screen or not. See, I'm yapping away, get carried away, and I forget to show you what I'm doing. I'm just going to trace that circle so I know where it is. And I'm actually going to deboss it. Now I could do with a bigger ball tool really, and I do have one, but I've been really lazy and I didn't get it out. But you'll get the idea. So we'll do that with the centre. So we've lifted the centre up and given it a bit of dimension, and then I'm just going to curl the petals. So I'm lifting it on the circle and curling it with my finger and thumb. So see what I mean? Just because it's a piece of card doesn't mean it has to be flat. And with the let's do the same with the centre of this one. We'll do that. Do it the other way. And I think I might just trace around there like that, which will just lift the petals. So you see the petals are lifting. And then I'll just curl some of these the other way. So it just gives it a bit of dimension, a bit of extra movement. And the other ones I'm actually going to leave as is. This one naturally curls up because it's quite thin in the centre. So there we go, there's the flowers. So we're nearly there. So let's just open this out and trim our ribbon. You could actually use a real ribbon, but I quite like the paper ribbon in there. Real ribbon will give it some extra texture. And then we're just going to add our flowers. So let's bring this down to the yellow here. So we're going to break up the bottom line of that masking. So now this is what pulls everything together, is when you add your embellishments and you break lines and you connect pieces together. I like using dimension, I like using foam pads and things, but I've actually kept everything stuck flat on this card because I think the masking strip says a lot really. Don't want it too busy, do we? So we'll stick that there. This flower, I want him to go in behind there. So I just want him to, so I want to lift this hello here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to cut these bottom petals off so he fits in, because the foam pads are just stopping it from getting in there. So let's just put him in like that. Just want it to frame the word, because that's what the card's all about, saying hello. He doesn't want to stick. Naughty flower. And we'll just have this daisy, we're going to have him peeking out. So we're going to pull the white, so the white edge is like pulling it into the composition, so it kind of marries everything up. Do you see what I mean? So it kind of pulls it through instead of it just being a stark line stuck on either end. And we'll have a little flower out here to just extend the design across so it balances your buckle there. And then we'll just have this little colour, flash of colour in here, a bit of a darker colour, just to lift this corner here. Let's have him there. I'm going to move him slightly further across and down a bit because they're in a bit of a straight line. Okay, and then I've got these hearts, which are from my I Doodle Love You kit, just to add a little bit of love to the message. I'm smushing that with my finger so it doesn't ooze out everywhere, and it makes it a bit tackier so it dries quicker. Let's have that on there. So we're bringing that yellow down again across into the white, and then we'll just break the ribbon line up with this tiny little heart, which I'm going to have to do with tweezers because I'm going to get in a mess otherwise. So let's break the line there with that heart. Okay, and then finishing touches are some sparkle. Can't go wrong with a bit of sparkle. So we're going to add in some gems. Now these gems, bargain buy. My original set I got in the range, and then I did find them in Poundland as well, and they were £1 in the range as well as obviously £1 in Poundland, so you can't go wrong. And there are loads and loads of gems, and who doesn't love a rainbow? Oh, apologies for the coughing. So we'll have a little bit of confetti there, gem confetti, and I'm going to balance it up by putting some up here as well. So let's just balance that across there. Let's have a little pink one there. Oh, oh, I love, oh, where did he go? He's gone. Let's put another pink one there. Stay. It's because my fingers are sticky, isn't it? Sticky fingers. There we go. And we'll have one here. Oh dear. Like that. It's because I'm all glued up. And there's two different yellows which I quite like, because one's like an orange yellow which works for this project, and the other one's sort of a lighter lemon yellow which works with the flowers and the strip. And I can't have 4, so I've got to have 5. Oh, and I've just picked up that pink one again. There we go. Anybody else would re-record this, wouldn't they? But I'm just going with the flow. Hey, we all do this, don't we? And it drives us all mad. Yes, 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 it's stuck. So there we go. So there's a very quick homemade masking technique for you. I'm sure you've seen it done before, but it's just done with maybe different colours or whatever. It just reminds you that that technique is out there. That flower's still not wanting to stick. And a few embellishments and a bit of sparkle, and there's a lovely card to say hello to somebody that you love. Hope you feel inspired to start mixing your pixels and paper, and maybe even go and create your own mask too. Thanks very much for watching this video. You can find all my collections in my Etsy shop, which I'll put the links in the description box down below, and I'll also put the links to the Adobe Reader that I use as well. If you want to have a go at digital, I've never done it before, please check out my Access All Images videos, and that'll give you a helping hand. Please subscribe to my channel and click the bell for notifications of videos coming. And until soon, happy crafting!